Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to give you my thoughts on this past week's episode of Van Helsing on Syfy, which is Season 4, Episode 2, called Dark Ties.
Stupid person.
Meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel here.
It kind of just goes without saying at this point, but I know this review is later review than I intended. But I've honestly just been busy these past few days. I've been right at the tail end of finishing Buffy the Vampire Slayer, one of my most beloved and favorite shows of all time now, even just watching it all the way through for the first time. Just finished the last episode of that tonight, so that's kind of what I've been focused on. And then into work and had some other things going on lately, so I kind of postponed my webcam video here. But don't get me wrong, this is still important to me. I didn't want this to be the episode I finally missed talking about in a video. And I was pretty enthusiastic with the premiere last week, and I like this one pretty well as well. I don't know if I want to say a drop off to the premiere last week, just a different episode. We knew it was going to slow down a little bit, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I always think it's great seeing a character like Vanessa have some room to breathe. Then you kind of get a little more of an kind of a laid back insight into her current psyche and everything like that, and just getting her to have one moment of peace, or getting to have a beer, or something like that, right? We also meet a character named Jack, who is a very capable and figurehead member of this group she ends up burning into. She's played by an actress who is on the sci-fi show Defiance, and I quite liked her. I remember seeing her, of course, in the trailer. I would really love her to become a regular character on the show, which she obviously is being set up to be at this point. I thought the actress did a nice job, and then just the conversations they had, sort of their just their bond that they sort of quickly formed. At first it felt like it could have been like another mother-daughter type of dynamic, but it feels like they're more equals than Vanessa initially sort of anticipated. At least to the extent, with Jack just being a really capable, human survivor as far as we know. Then when she talks to Jack about her past a little bit, and of course, the feelings that brings up, and then how Vanessa ends up explaining her new apparent perspective or ideology that she's sort of embracing, or that maybe this, spiritual sort of awakening that she's trying to put upon herself now. She's tired of all this killing, and you can get that. And, a lot of questions within her head as well about the overall picture of it all and what it means and how it's, eventually bringing her down, and the contrast to the darkness we've seen her, right on the edge of, as recently as, Season 3 and everything. So she's really not going to try and kill anymore. I mean, we've seen something about that in one of the previews as well for this season. I mean, I don't think she's going to go, all peace mode like Morgan did on The Walking Dead before. She's gonna mostly try and save, like she says, but come on, we have Dracula about to come out here, Tricia Helfer, so I feel like she's gonna have to, snap back into her, hopefully find some sort of middle ground. I don't know, but it should be interesting, and again, just the different type of perspective that she's trying to take upon herself. It'll be interesting, and really gripping to see Kelly Overton portray that, in her attempts at that. And then the other big, before we jump to Julius and Violet and everything, the other big part of the episode is finding finding Chad again. And it's funny because I finally have my girlfriend through like halfway through season 2 right now. And she met Chad in his original group not too long ago either. Taking care of this girl Tabby, who was turned. Find out he had all these traps set up, not just for vampires, mostly humans, with Tabby being fed and everything like that. So different for that actor to play sort of this guy more driven to the edge compared to like the optimism and just where he started when you seen him in this this apocalypse, right? So it's good to see that character brought back a bit, and then him being integrated into Jack's group by the end of the episode with Vanessa. Vanessa is able to save Tabby, yet another cute little girl on the show. So I thought that was pretty good as well. And then the other big concentration in the episode, besides the Vanessa and Jack thing, was Julius and Violet, who is apparently Neil McDonough's daughter, who apparently might have some Van Helsing blood within her as well. I don't think we need too many more Van Helsings at this point. It feels a bit convenient to some extent for me right now. I'm not sure where they're going with it on the long run, so I'm still seeing how it's going to be playing out. Julius, he ends up being used as like a sparring partner for her, but ends up teaching a lot about really focused and realistic combat with these vampires that she hasn't really experienced yet, being as sheltered as she is within this and the confines of the building and lab and everything by her father. And Neil McDonough, he tends to play more villainous characters like 8-9 times out of 10. He says he's doing a lot of this for the overall big picture, but also for his daughter's sake, too, so we'll see how true that is. But he has to be somewhat aware of a possible connection his daughter could have to all this that we're starting to see, perhaps. And she has some connections in this more underground network within the community they have there. She encounters the first vampire. Julius tries to help her rush her under the rug, so we'll see how that plays out with Neil McDonough in the coming episodes. Julius's powers seem to be progressing as well, which I think is interesting, as well as some of the others perhaps. He seems to be getting physically stronger again and healing almost exactly like Vanessa, almost. So it's interesting to see what that's all going to build to and what that's going to mean for everyone. But yeah, I've always wanted to see Alex Panovich and Julius get even more of a chance to physically dominate the shit out of people on the show. I think it could be a lot of fun if they have some like really elaborate fight scene or something. The way he took care of those guards last week was something though too, so that was awesome. But I think it's an interesting direction. I just think I don't think there needs to be another Van Helsing sister or something like that necessarily. I also don't want to see Kelly Overton killed off or something and having Violet take over. I don't know. Again, this is just me like spitballing just random ideas I have for it, but it could also end up being like a Buffy and her students thing. I don't know. But yeah, so overall this is a pretty good episode. I mean, it's hard to compare an episode like this to like an episode like the premiere was. Doc is also not able to completely restrain herself, and she ends up being put in a cell. Saying this is for the good of mankind. McDonald says it's good for mankind as well as my daughter. Doc saying she could be the missing piece to the whole thing. So I like that even 4 seasons in, we're still discovering exact details about mythology and the meaning behind all this, not just the science, but the overall building connections to what this could all amount to. So I like how fresh they're keeping that, and it's not just bare bones even at this point. But yeah, overall I'm giving it like an 8.8 out of 10. And some directions I'm a little surprised by, but I'm optimistic as always about this show, and I'm still definitely enjoying it. And let me you guys thought about this. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like, subscribe, and peace.